It's your boy Donji. That's back with another video. They were reacting from YouTube star to homeless. The sad story of Gento. I mean, if y'all from the 2K community, a lot of y'all, most of y'all probably know who Gento is. A 2K community OG. It's like, dude, at one point, I remember back when I was in like middle school, like I started watching Gento around 2K12. So around 2K12, it was a good day. If Chris Smooth, QJB, or Gento, don't let all three have uploaded in one day. It felt like my birthday. If all three of them uploaded in one day. But nah, for real. I remember watching Gento all the time. Then I was saying around 2019, things changed. But anyway, let's get right into the video. Maybe he could document the story better than I can.
So over the course of the last decade and a half, we have seen a lot of different people and trends come and go on YouTube. We have seen creators who were pretty much on the top of the platform slowly fade into irrelevance, and we have seen others crash and burn on their way to the top. In general, there is nothing wrong with either. At the end of the day, all good things have to come to an end at some point, and sometimes an entire genre of videos just completely loses all relevance, leaving only a select few to continue making a living in that genre of video. Specifically, when it comes to creators who make video game content, we see this happen all the time. I remember when Fortnite was really hot a couple of years ago, there were creators gaining millions of subscribers overnight, and in turn making hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in a short span of time. But once the mainstream hype around a game dies down, and the general consumer already has more knowledge about a game, basically I'm saying when that novelty wears off, that's when a lot of these types of creators who put all their eggs into one basket usually tend to fall off. And they go from getting tens of millions of views per month to being lucky if they can break 1 million. And suddenly they find themselves like a car whose battery died on the way up a hill, just slowly sliding backwards. That leads me into today's video topic, where we will be talking about a fallen 2K YouTuber named YMD Gento. Back in the mid-2010s, 2K and Madden content was on fire, and videos revolving around these sports games were getting hundreds of thousands of views every single.
But I will say, it's like, I mean, there's few exceptions to the rules. Like Chris Smooth can still post a My Career video to this day, but even he made transitions and would do like My Team, actual NBA walkthroughs and all of that type of stuff. It's like Gento, he tried to do My Team as well, but My Career was always his bread and butter. Like when you think of Gento, you're not really gonna think of the My Team stuff. Like Chris Smooth, it was so many different things. It's like there was people that it was a period of time where Chris Smooth would even do Call of Duty videos, but with Gento, it's like he never really made that transition from My Career. Like, I mentioned this because Fredo, 2K15, 2K16 is when a lot of the community transitioned from My Career content to park content. But I don't remember Gento ever making that transition. Let's be real. It's hard to stay relevant in the same genre of content for 10 years. Yet alone, you're not going to be able to do the exact same thing for 10 years and it still pop off, you know?
Hey, and this man YMB Gento was already at the forefront, being one of the more popular people in that 2K space. But as time has gone on, these videos in general became less and less popular. In fact, they've been on a downturn for more than half a decade. And while a few resilient creators have held strong and kept the lights on making this type of content, for the majority of YouTubers who were doing this, they fell off drastically. It's either that, or they adapted their audience.
And that's the thing, I give 2Hype, like Cash, Jesser, LSK, I give them their props. Even Fredo, I'm giving Fredo his props for this. Like, a lot of them, they transitioned out of the 2K content early. Like, they've realized that in the 2K community, you're going to peak. There's only a certain level of peak you're going to get before you start the decline. So they kind of transition and pivot out of 2K content early. Then, like, around 2020, AMP, they kind of transitioned and AMP became a thing, like, with Agent Davis, Phantom, Duke. I'm just mentioning them four because they're the OG AMP members and they come from the 2K community. Then they added on Chris and Kai. Like, A&P, they made that transition from 2K early. I mean, not early. They made it just in time. Because after 2K20, you didn't really see much growth in the 2K community. Yeah, there was speed. Speed probably had a historic growth in the 2K community. But even he realized, if I continue to do this 2K thing, I'm not gonna make it but so big. So he even transitioned out of 2K.
The content and continued their career in a different genre. Consider guys like LSK, Jester the Laser, and even Agent, who all got their big break from these games and have now made insane amounts of money as influencers.
And you will argue they got even bigger once they left the 2K community.
YouTube is largely a game of adapt or die. Even I myself have changed my content style and genre several times over the last 5 years. And while some things have remained the same over that time, I would have either personally burnt out or just completely lost my spark if I had never changed anything. Now when it comes to YMD Gento and his career, you have to go all the way back to over a decade ago when he started making all kinds of content about different video games, doing walkthroughs, and playing whatever he liked the most at the moment. But eventually he really would settle on the 2K basketball series, likely because it was what was getting him the most views. And from 2K13 to 2K19, he was doing really well for himself on his YouTube channel, getting hundreds of thousands of views per day. And while he was making these basketball videos, he would also sprinkle in all types of other content from other games to vlogs, but basketball was still his bread and butter. And like I said, he went on like this for quite some time. He was building up this pretty successful career, amassing a couple 100 million views, which definitely had him paid. But sadly in 2019, it was around the time that YMD would start to really struggle mentally.
That's when
he would go from a family-friendly creator to saying that his new destiny was to be a rapper, and his raps were absolute garbage.
Soon as we locked eyes, I knew what she wanted, so I grabbed her by the waist cause I knew she would love it. Whispered in the end, told her how I made it live, and took off the fitted cap so she could see the way it's spinning. She smiled with this weird look in her eye. Either she wanted me in her or she must have been shy, cause she said she was a virgin and really wanted to try anything that I wanted would tell V Street goodbye.
Hear me and hear me good, nigga. I'm here to double down. That shit is a 2-pack of ass.
Couldn't say it better myself.
What the fuck are you talking about? That shit stinks.
And people would call him out for his strange tweets and erratic behavior.
Respectful, like how you going to tell someone to die over the internet, over a meme? Like what is wrong with you, my guy? Like you literally have issues, and I do feel bad for him.
Yeah, he was not only was he ranting on Twitter, I believe he was making a bunch of videos like rambling, like a lot of people, we didn't know if it was like mental health, like drugs, like people was making so many speculations at the time. I tried to keep up with it for update purposes, but I wasn't like, because I knew it was a dark time, so I wasn't really trying to do too much.
Roasting because
I wasn't really trying to. Yeah, I was saying that was most people's perspective. Like, I'm not gonna roast bro because we don't really know what's going on. Remember those shake and bake rants was kind of crazy, and it just felt out of nowhere.
In like a fake world, like he's calling himself King Cobra. You see the emoji. He's saying, "What's my name?" This dude, he's living in an alternate reality. This man is a weirdo. No one should be this negative. There's no reason to be this negative. There's no reason to treat people like this over the internet. Who cares? It's the internet.
That's why you a rat. And my shit say what? King what? Them niggas never in life be on our level. It's impossible.
Yeah, you could kind of sense in a lot of these clips that he's not sober, bro.
It'll always be late. I don't know the year, but it's late for them. No bullshit, Chief. Look at this shit. Who? But look, though. My skin brown. Literally, I literally was about to show you niggas how to get girls easy. Bitch! Flawless victory! Not even close! Carnage! King!
Now in the end, Gento would claim these things he was saying and doing were all just some sort of act, and that he was basically just playing a new persona for the YouTube audience. Because previously, he was making videos for kids.
When the character took off,
there were
a lot of
scenes. What we calling it scenes now. That's what we doing now.
Let's call them scenes. That's what they were. I'm not only pitching myself as a creator, I'm pitching myself as an artist, I'm pitching myself as an actor,
But
not a gamer.
but the audience clearly wasn't rocking with your new gimmick, if that's what we calling it.
Happy, lit, have fun, be positive, Gento. There has to be more to life than that, especially when there's days I don't feel like being happy, lit. See what I'm saying? I don't feel like being that character for you guys. I'm sorry. So I'm like, I'm gonna venture off to something different. Look at how many other 2K YouTubers ventured off into something different.
Ultimately, he ended up blaming the YouTube algorithm for his eventual demise, as he would claim that taking a month off of making videos to go to some sort of rehabilitation is what put the nail in the coffin for his career.
I go back to the old Gento.
I mean, that's the thing too. Like, a lot of people don't understand how the algorithm even works. That's not algorithm. It's just, like I said, he never transitioned, and then when he did finally transition, so to speak, it was kind of weird and cryptic. So it's like people aren't really gonna watch that. And then apparently too, it was said that his girl, like his baby mama or somebody, left him at the time. So it's like that's when the whole thing got out there that he wasn't sober. So we can only imagine what really was going on with Gento. Like, he's blaming the algorithm. I mean, this is also cheap as well, but I probably would have been less mad if he blamed his mental health. But what this also shows is a lot of YouTubers that made it big, just because somebody made it big, don't know. That doesn't mean they know what it takes or how to make it big. So what do I mean by that? What I'm saying is, there's a lot of, that's why, like, you ask certain YouTubers for advice. A lot of people, they give you generic advice. And then a lot of people, that's not on purpose, because, I mean, some people who's, sure, I don't want them to know what I did to get to the top, because they gonna follow my sauce. But then there's other people who really don't know, so they'll tell you things like, be consistent, don't give up. Like cliche things, just because they don't know exactly how they made it.
It's like I predicted in May 2019, numbers are trash, thanks to algorithm. Algorithm got so messed up, my notifications were broken. That's algorithm. That's literally algorithm. I can make a fire video right now, but if it doesn't go crazy on the algorithm, it is what it is. I'm losing everything next week.
And then if you want to say that it's algorithm or whatever, couldn't you just, I mean, I know it's hard because he had 1 million subscribers. Couldn't he just make a second channel and start over, so to speak? I mean, it probably use the main channel for like his big uploads, but upload everything else on his second channel.
It sucks because we had a strong decade grinding on the channel.
Now, with all due respect to him, that month off had nothing to do with his downfall. There's been so many people who have taken much more time.
I'm about to say, a lot of people took even longer breaks. I would mention Soluminati or Corey, but those are like the top tier, like their fan bases are different type people. But there's so many people as well who can take a break for months at a time, and when they come back, it's still a hit. But the algorithm's not tripping over. I mean, it's probably best when the algorithm will push you more when you are consistent, sure, but that's not exactly how it works.
And came back to be even more successful. As someone who has done this for my job for almost 5 years, I know it's easy to feel like the algorithm is out to get you when things don't seem like they are going right, but I promise if you make videos people want to click, and you can retain the viewer and gain new subscribers when they show your videos to new people, YouTube will definitely continue to help you out. This job is a series of highs and lows like a damn roller coaster.
Facts.
You cannot get too much of an ego when you are soaring.
And that's the scary part about, like, this is the scary part of becoming a full-time YouTuber. It's like, your highs could be some of the highest highs, but your lows could be some of the lowest lows. Like, I'm not even in the position to take YouTube seriously, but I could only imagine if I was.
You have to sustain during the down periods and keep producing what has either worked for you in the past or be brave and decide to blaze a new trail with a new style of content. I think he was just trying to do too much at some point, and he was always talking about all this different drama in his life and calling other content creators out, just basically being too much about the personal. And with the type of audience he had cultivated, they were really not trying to hear that and really just wanted to see an upbeat, funny guy play some games. The other thing is, when it comes to his downfall, is that it seems like this guy was really never willing to take much accountability, as he would also place a lot of the blame on his ex-girlfriend, saying that basically she wanted him to stop smoking reefer, and that in turn that completely ruined his life, and destroyed basically any motivation that he had. And now over 3 years later, we fast forward to today, where this man has officially announced that he has lost it all and is homeless.
It's not looking good. I have 2 options left. I could let's say I get a 9 to 5 and I make like $300 a week. That's $1,200 a month. I get a roommate that'll charge about $1,000, $1,100 maybe the entire $1,200 to sleep on their couch. I would literally have to work every single day just to have that rent money to sleep on someone's couch.
And now he apparently does have a job, and hopefully he will be back on his feet again soon. I guess I just made this video because I feel like it shows the harsh reality of someone who was once on top of their genre online and has now fallen from grace. I do wish the best for this man moving forward, and hope he can once again rise up the ranks and even make a living online. Quite frankly, the whole situation reminds me of that quote from Moneyball.
We're all told at some point in time, Billy, that we can no longer play the children's game. We just don't know when that's going to be. Some of us are told at 18, some of us are told at 40. But we're all told.
YouTubing in general is a pretty new career, and to see people's entire life cycle and the way they deal with it on the platform has been interesting to say the least. I want you guys to comment down below if you have a favorite YouTuber from the past who now either isn't making content or just completely changed. As always, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy the Tan Superman, and some other YouTubers out here need to be covered, so I'm out. Peace.
As he said, I hope Gento finds himself soon. It's a very serious situation, so that's why you're not gonna see me make personally too many jokes on it, because we don't know. But anyway, I'm out. Peace.